Whispers in the dark. It was past midnight when Daniel turned onto the old country road. The storm had passed, leaving behind a sky choked with heavy clouds and a road still glistening with rain. The headlights cut through the darkness, illuminating nothing but endless asphalt and the skeletal branches of trees bending over the lane. He was tired, but he knew this shortcut would get him home faster. At least that's what he thought. The silence in the car was suffocating. No music, no radio signal, just the steady hum of the engine and the occasional splash of tires rolling through puddles. The further he drove, the more he realized how utterly alone he was. Not a single other car, not even the faint glow of a farmhouse window. Just him and the empty road. And then he saw her. At first she was only a pale blur in the distance, a shape barely visible against the gloom. As he drew closer, the figure came into focus, standing directly in the middle of the road. A woman. Her dress was unmistakable, white, long, trailing across the wet ground. A wedding dress. Daniel's heart skipped a beat as he slammed the brakes. The car screeched to a halt, tires hissing against the wet pavement. His headlights washed over her, casting her in cold, artificial light. She didn't move, didn't flinch, just stood there, head bowed, veil covering her face. In her hands, she clutched a bouquet of wilted, rotting flowers. For several seconds, Daniel sat frozen, gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. He rolled down his window. "Hey, are you okay? Do you need help?" The bride didn't answer. Something about the way she stood unsettled him. Her body seemed stiff, almost unnatural, like a mannequin left in the wrong place. He swallowed hard, opened the door, and stepped into the night. The air was damp and cold, carrying with it a faint metallic smell, like rust or blood. The only sound was the dripping of water from the trees and his own footsteps approaching her. "Miss," he said again, softer now, "do you need help?" Still no response. Then slowly she tilted her head. The motion was jerky, almost broken. The veil slipped slightly to the side, revealing pale skin stretched tight across bone. Daniel's stomach turned, and then she vanished. One blink, she was gone. The road ahead was empty, except for the lingering scent of smoke. Heart racing, Daniel stumbled back into his car, slamming the door shut. His hands trembled as he gripped the wheel again. "Just keep driving," he muttered to himself. "You're tired. You're imagining things." He pressed the gas. The car surged forward, tires hissing on the wet pavement. But a few miles later, he saw her again, standing in the middle of the road. The exact same pose, the exact same bowed head, the exact same rotting bouquet in her hands. Daniel's chest tightened. He knew he hadn't turned. He knew this was a straight road. No way she could have gotten ahead of him. Yet there she was. He swerved violently to avoid her, the car barely keeping traction on the slick ground. As he passed, he caught a glimpse through the passenger window. For a split second, the veil lifted fully. Her face was a grotesque mask of decay. Skin torn open, lips shredded, teeth bared in a twisted, bloodied grin, and her eyes, or rather the hollow pits where her eyes should have been, locked onto him. Daniel screamed, pressing harder on the accelerator. The car rattled, the engine roaring, but he didn't care. He just needed to get away. His hands shook uncontrollably, sweat dripping from his forehead. He dared to glance at the rearview mirror and nearly lost control of the car.
I see you.
She was in the back seat. Her white dress filled the shadows behind him. Her veil brushed against the ceiling, and her head was slowly, impossibly slowly, rising to look directly into the mirror. Daniel whipped around. Nothing. The back seat was empty. His breath came in ragged gasps. When he looked forward again, his heart almost stopped. The bride was standing on the road once more. He slammed the brakes, tires shrieking, the car fishtailed, barely missing her. This time, she moved. Step by step, she approached the car. Her bouquet dragged along the ground, leaving a dark trail. Her veil fluttered in an invisible breeze, and though her face was hidden, Daniel felt her gaze pierce straight into his soul. No, stay away, he whispered, locking the doors. The bride reached the hood of the car. Her pale hand, thin and cracked, pressed against the metal. Slowly, she dragged her fingers upward, leaving a long, screeching scratch across the paint. The sound was unbearable, and then she whispered, "Till death do us part." It wasn't through the glass, not through the air. It was inside his head. Daniel cried out, fumbling to start the car again. The engine roared, the tires spun, and he shot forward, leaving the apparition in the distance. His chest ached, his hands numb on the wheel. Daniel cried out, fumbling to start the car again. The engine roared, the tires spun, and he shot forward, leaving the apparition in the distance. His chest ached, his hands numb on the wheel. But no matter how far he drove, the feeling didn't leave him. The weight in the car was wrong, heavy, suffocating. Glancing at the passenger seat, his blood turned to ice. A single wedding bouquet lay there, fresh, pristine white roses. The air smelled of lilies and rot. Daniel's scream echoed down the endless road. The next morning, his car was found in a ditch, lights still on, engine running. Daniel sat lifeless in the driver's seat, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a silent scream. On his left hand was a golden wedding band. No one could say where it came from. And on the passenger seat, the bouquet remained, perfectly arranged, as if waiting for the ceremony to begin.